Scorpio, I am here to drop in and do the deep dive with you into your collective energy for you Scorpio Sun natives. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a beautiful journey as you make your way around the sun once more. And this is the time here at BroadCoven when we like to drop in and just celebrate you a little bit by teaching the collective what your energy is all about, what medicines you bring, what your contribution is. And it can also help people in general learn how to move in harmony through your season. You are snake, birth totem on the medicine wheel. And there's a lot of similarities actually between scorpion medicine and snake medicine. And I'm going to get into all of that. I'm going to talk about your magics. I'm going to talk about your life purpose, what you're here to learn. We're going to talk about some keys to empowerment. We're going to do a good old-fashioned quest reading, and we're just going to enjoy this, enjoy ourselves. That being said, even if you are not a Scorpio Sun native, you are welcome to drop in here and learn all about Scorpio. Maybe you have a significant Scorpio placement in your chart. You can use some of the medicines that come through here to amplify that sector of your inner cosmology, okay? So there can be something a little bit here for everybody, and I have to say it is Scorpio season, so we're all moving through that energy. Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto will be making that transit back into Aquarius as of November 19th, so I think we could all benefit from just tapping into that Plutonian energy there through your read, and Mars, of course, okay? So let's dive right into it. I want to kind of do a little collective Scorpio energy read here and provide sort of a theme to this energy that we'll all be moving through collectively, especially with Aries in the North Node. That's the Mars energy. You share that planetary ruler with Aries, and then also, you know, you got Pluto going on, so you're feeling these changes. And in fact, you sense these changes long before happening within your inner realms, before they ever became things that the collective was really dealing with as a whole. And that's just the nature of your medicine. You do have that sensitivity, ear close to the ground. You can feel things before they come in. You have the gift of psychic awareness. You have the gift of being able to feel things before they arrive on the scene. Very similar to snake medicine, if you think about it, okay? Because snakes have their bellies close to the earth, okay? So just like scorpions, they're like that. They're very sensitive, and they can pick up the vibration of things, and they tap into more of the subtleties. Snake is the same. Snake is the same. They share a lot of similarities, I have to tell you. They also are very patient. They can be very still, waiting for the right moment to strike. All right. So I do feel like there's this amplified energy around you, just as initially dropping into the Scorpio frequency. I do feel like this state of readiness. It's almost like there's been preparation around this. There's been patient waiting for the right moment to act. The time will be soon. Within the next 3 to 6 months, this is when the majority of the transformation occurs in the material in your life. Right now, there's sort of like readying yourself, steadying yourself. That's what I got. There's also the piece about stillness when it comes to snake medicine that a lot of people ignore. They don't think of the more subtle qualities of snake medicine, your birth totem. When you're working with snakes, which I have some some familiarity with this. And I used to have a horrifying, petrifying fear of snakes. I was just so scared of snakes. And yet I often found myself in situations where they were around me, and they've been around me since I was a little kid. And my mom has a big fear of snakes. And so I think that that's something I just sort of adopted from her. But later on in life, when I got involved in belly dancing, it's like snakes everywhere, you know, snakes everywhere. And I had to get comfortable being around them. And then I finally felt like this is the time to really overcome my fear. And I tried multiple times before and just hadn't been able to do it. You know, I'd pet snakes before, I'd held snakes before, and it was something that I couldn't overcome it initially. But something about belly dance, and maybe that's because I learned a lot from those who worked with snakes. My dear sister, Kali, was the first to really introduce me to snakes and their medicine. And I think that did a lot to have me looking at things in a new way. And then I did end up holding a snake, Khaleesi, at Tribal Fest, which is a belly dance festival. And it's no longer around, but it was wonderful when it was around, and people came from all over the world to Sonoma County, California, Sebastopol specifically, to participate in Tribal Fest. It was really cool. But yes, I held a snake there, and she was so gentle and sweet, and I experienced just this beautiful moment of communion with that snake medicine, and it struck me very differently than I thought it would. And I learned that they really do teach us how to master our energy. They are so subtle. They teach us how to master our energetic flow, how to just be in that place of feeling everything so much, but not having to be tense with it, just really being able to hold all that power, because snake medicine is power. It's about learning how to work with power, really. But there's also the need to be very still with them, and to not move abruptly, to not be jarring, to have more sensitivity when you work with snakes. They teach you so much patience. Anyway, it's a beautiful medicine. There might be an aspect of that that's coming in for you right now, Scorpio, as we dive into your birth totem, as we dive into your snake birth totem and what is needed at this moment. You might need more stillness. You might need more space to just marinate marinate in the energy that's building in your life, because I do feel like there is something that is attracting you. It's luring you forward. You feel something calling you, and you know on a deep level that what is pulling you forward, it's also feeling you. There's just this understanding of these two energies coming together. Yeah, it certainly could be two paths meeting, right? That prevent, that prevent an important juncture from passing you by. You might be having somebody come onto your path that changes your way forward ever so slightly, that it just makes a little adjustment in the direction you were heading. And where you go ends up being the stuff of destiny. I feel like the core of what you're really wanting, if you had to think of what do I really want more than anything, if I had to capture what I want more than anything in this life, right here, right now, in this moment, what's one word that captures that? whatever is the physical manifestation of that one word, it's there, it's out there. And it's like you're inexplicably being drawn to each other. But there's this piece about maybe you have too much chatter around you, or too much opinion, too much noise. I mean, I'm really picking up like you need spaces of calm and quiet, or Spirit's really asking you to bring this in. It's time for you to tune in, because you do have the sight, you do have vision, you have psychic awareness, and there's information that wants to come through for you. You have the magic of healing. And when you have the magic of healing, there's this axiom, healer, heal thyself. So when you carry this kind of magic, as Snake does, your birth totem, then you have to go through situations throughout your life where repeatedly you are having to reinvent yourself over and over and over again. You are always going through initiation, and it's specifically so you can fully embody the art of transformation. 11:22 on the clock, because you see, that's very deep knowledge, very deep wisdom that you are meant to share with others as well. In some way or another, you are here to help people feel supported in their process of transformation. And there's many different ways that that can be expressed, many different ways that you can play that role in people's lives, but you tend to go through it yourself a lot, a lot, before you're prepared to teach others how to move through such states with grace. And also not just grace, but being able to tap into the juiciness of it, right? People usually only focus on the mean, heavy aspects of initiation. Oh, but they forget like the juiciness of being able to grok that hidden knowledge, being able to get access to that secret wisdom that you can only get when you go really deep into the center of something, which you're very adept at doing. You're a master alchemist when you have fully refined yourself. It is one of your life's purposes to be that transformer. You have the powers of enchantment. Many consider you quite alluring, seductive, but you also have the ability to cast a glamour, because you're so used to working with energy that, well, it can become anything. It can become anything if you're tapped into the subtleties. So you like to play with energy in that way, creatively, experimenting with trying on different kinds of energies, even in the way that you project yourself, even in the way that you style your hair, or how you do your makeup, or the clothes you wear, the kind of jewelry you like to wear. There can be a lot of theater. There can be a lot of theater with the Scorpio archetype, I have to say. It is one of your magics, glamour magics, certainly. And you can be quite enchanting. You know how to work with what you got, so to speak. And your love is really deep. It's soulful. It's like the deepest well. When you love completely with everything in you, and there is no in between when it comes to snake birth totem. How do you unlock these magics though, right? Because this is all about the magics that you're here to rise up into. You have to go through a lot of transformation to be able to fully tap your full potential. And in order to do that, to gain the key that unlocks these magics, these mysteries, these wisdoms to you, Scorpio, with your birth totem snake, you're here to learn lessons of forgiveness. So certainly this is forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of yourself. So when you're here to be taught a lesson of forgiveness, you'll find many occasions where you have to tap into that well and find compassion, understanding, even when dealing with some pretty activating stuff. So it's a fierce medicine. If you think about that, if you have to learn how to forgive, you're going to be put in quite a few situations where you are angered, or where it would be easy to be resentful or bitter, or to hold a grudge, or to blame. So this is pretty potent medicine to work with. I mean, you have access to quite a bit of power, but at the same time, there's a price. There's a price for power. There's a responsibility for holding power, and you have so much readily accessible to you that you're really put through a lot of tests. So you hold that power wisely, very wisely. Your power mineral is copper, and your power crystal is amethyst. So again, support transformation. Copper is also associated with the planet Venus. So I like how it brings in that sort of Venusian quality that I was talking about. You're someone who could really work with things like mirror magic, bringing in those qualities of glamour with your beauty rituals, um, giving your whole look and enchantment for the day with that Venusian energy coming in. And you naturally do present that sort of allure, right, of the Venusian energy, which can be enticing, and we touched upon that. But there's another quality to the Venusian energy, and that's war, which really evokes that Mars energy that you share with Aries. This can be very helpful to work with copper, especially as we're moving through this territory right now and leading up to next summer with the nodes of destiny in play. Can really support you in feeling that balancing between the Venusian energy and the Mars energy. And of course, amethyst is wonderful for getting a spiritual perspective in situations, as well as supporting you in any kind of transformational work you need to do, especially if that transformational work has anything to do with forgiveness. And your direction is northwest, and your power wind is the west wind, and the spirit keeper of that west wind is Mudgekiwis. And Mudgekiwis is associated with the grizzly bear. It's known as the father of all winds, and it teaches responsibility, accountability, responsibility for the self, responsibility for the earth, and responsibility for our relations. So anytime that you're feeling challenged in any of those areas and you need some strength, all you need to do is face that west wind and call on that energy of grizzly bear, the spirit keeper of that western wind, Mudgekiwis, and ask for support, ask for protection, ask for wisdom, ask for the awareness to take root in your consciousness that can help you exercise that responsibility. And you may be dealing with some situations where that may be coming up for you, especially with the way that that is coming in there. And your plant ally is thistle. And I'm actually going to read to you about thistle because I got this wonderful new deck that I recently introduced, but I do want to get kind of an overarching theme energy for you here, just to kick things off. And this is sort of like the collective Scorpio or snake totem energy. You see, and we have, what do you feel? Notice in the background there's that flower of life. The flower of life is interesting to me. I was looking at the flower of life once and I had an insight. I was like, I wonder if the flower of life is almost like a sigil of sorts that acts as a way to call on angelic assistance. And the reason I say that is, you think of the seraphim and you think of all the many eyes, right? They're described as having many eyes. And when you really look at the flower of life, it's kind of hard to see here. It's very subtle. But when you look at the flower of life, it actually is all of these eyes interconnected with each other. And I thought, that's really fascinating, actually. And they do help. Flower of life is to help sort of like seed your visions, right? Like grow your visions. And there might be something about the vision you want to see for your world, what you're wanting to create moving forward. And it was wild because as I went into that, it was 21 on the clock. And that makes me think of the world in tarot. So I feel like you are bringing something into a state of completion here. And, it might be a little bit apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Is it this? Is it that? Or, should I go this way? Should I go that way? There's something about really wanting to be clear about what choice you make moving forward here. But this is about getting in touch with what do you feel? Diving into your energy a bit. And I think you might need to kind of create the space for there just to be a little quiet, a little calm, so you can really feel that out. Because maybe you've been trying to make some kind of choice with your head. There's something about letting the heart come in here a bit more. Ooh, and with that, yes. So you're about to call something into being. It's already come in for you as a vision. It's a dream you have, and you may have sent up some prayers around this. And this creative cycle is just about to kick off. It's really in the beginning stages for you right now. We have new birth guarded vigilantly here with spirals of manifestation. So you're just about to move into this time of transformation here. Almost at that point of getting your wings. And we got 24-6 here. We got 18-9. That's 15-6 energy. Yeah, this is the manifestation of a vision. You already received this vision. It's just about executing the steps. It's just about taking it from the place of what you've been sensing, what you've been feeling, and actually giving it form and material reality. You only have a little bit more time here, I really feel, of sort of having this gestation period. It's going to be go time pretty soon. There might be something that comes in that is quite significant. On the 16th, there might be a big like awakening moment, something that really opens up the pathway of the vision that you want to really invest your energy in. So do be aware of that date. I think it will be important. I feel like whatever happens there will really reach a culmination point in July. In July is when you'll see sort of the full culmination of what is sort of first coming into your field of vision and awareness. On the 16th, something happens on the 16th. You could get some kind of news, or it's one of those like, I got it, it's just finally something clicks, something's clear. And it might come in for you, right after that full moon in Taurus. That comes in on the 14th. Yeah, so just 2 days later, actually right before Pluto changes into Aquarius, okay? Just a couple days before that. That's a really kind of loaded time period. that's coming up here. I keep getting that period right around that full moon in Taurus to when Pluto moves into Aquarius. There's something that's happening there for you during that time period that is the start of a major transformation in your life. And it really changes the tone of things. But this is something that I feel like it's an answered prayer, or it's a long held dream. It's something that's been held back and it's getting ready to actually happen. This is beautiful. Okay, so let's see what we got on the cut of the deck here. Yes, see? But right now, as you're calling this in, you need to have space to yourself where you can really build this light. It's like you're working on your more subtle levels first. You're doing the alchemy within you so you can be prepared to actually bring all of this creative energy forward and see your manifestation take root here. You got 26, 8 energy. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Tree medicine could be really excellent for you right now too. So if you get the chance to do some forest bathing, it will be excellent for you. In fact, I feel like if you can spend some time around the trees, especially if you're fortunate enough to have some access to the redwoods, if you have access to the redwoods, oh, you need to go, okay? I feel like a lot of the nature spirits want to commune with you. I also feel like you're able to hear yourself, you're able to hear your true self. Like your spirit really comes through when you are with trees specifically. I am picking up a really strong redwood message here though. So some of you have access to the redwoods, or you're about to visit where the redwoods are. And I think that you should take full advantage of that. There's something that will come through when you're spending time in the forest with trees, where you're not only going to be able to hear yourself and really get tapped into what's going on a soul level, but you'll be able to be really grounded. You'll be able to earth a lot of the heavy energy you've been holding on to. I think you may have taken on a little too much of other people's stuff, and that'll help clear the channel. So you can get your creative energy back. All right. I think that's really important. And also just to have more energy in general. Maybe you felt a little bit tired here. And it looks like you need to get yourself ready to step forward. I don't think it's going to be too long. I feel like within, just a matter of a couple weeks here, you're going to be starting to move something in process here. But it's because you're activating your creative energy. You're about to take an action that's going to transform whatever life is kind of rolling out to be right now, is about to go through a major transformation here with what kicks off. It's happening sometime before Pluto goes into Aquarius. I feel that really strongly. Yep. Whatever it is, you are going to be moving against the grain here. It's interesting because there's like some doves, which is about peace. So you might be making peace with something. You might need to make some peace with some emotions. You might need to make some peace with another that gives you some kind of emotional release that allows you to move forward in a direction you need to go. In other words, there might be something that's creating a little bit of a cross current to the direction you're going to feel called to move in. There might be something you have to deal with in order to move in this direction. It might not be so comfortable, or it might be that you're moving in a much different direction than others think you should. Okay, so you're moving against the grain here, but I feel like you need to be at peace with moving in this direction, whatever this is. Some of you will get an opportunity to exercise your life lesson. There may be somebody you need to make peace with in order to move forward. It might feel uncomfortable initially, but it's something that provides a new foundation for your future. I also feel that this is you finally moving forward towards something that feels like, yes, this is my direction. This is right for me. and yet it's something very different from you, from what you are usually used to, or it's bringing out a very different side of you, or it might feel a little awkward at first. It has you kind of doing something different, very different than you normally would do. And you might be working with an air sign on this, I have to say, because I am seeing that bird energy mingling with your water. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. They also share your power wind there. They share that spirit keeper Magikiwis with you as well, Raven Clan, Libra, okay? So some of you might be on the cusp as well of Libra and Scorpio. They're very close, or potentially you could be third decanate Libras, which are really close to the Scorpio signature, energy signature. So I can see kind of like a bleed over in that message a little bit. But this is something that is going to provide quite the foundation for your future. It does require you to kind of go against the current of things, go against the grain, do things a little differently. And it was 31:13 on the clock when I said that. So yeah, I mean, whatever this is, it puts you in a more powerful position. You totally should go for it, okay? So I wanted to read to you about your plant ally, because this deck that I got, that I treated myself to for my birthday, the Herbal Astrology Oracle, it's just so cool, and it goes really deep. And yeah, I wanted to find out what would come through for you for your plant ally. And you have thistle, so we got milk thistle here coming through. And I think this is so interesting because it says peaceful warrior there. So I do think that you are in the process of making peace with someone, and maybe even peace with someone that you have a lot of anger or resentment toward. And I say that because thistle really supports the liver, and the liver is where we store our anger and our resentment and our pent up frustration. So the situation you're dealing with may have relation to any of these issues. And this particular plant is also associated with Mars, one of your rulers, and the moon. So this could even be somebody that you have a little pent up frustration or anger with, related to an Aries, or could be a Cancer, okay? These two energies coming in here. There's a change that's needed in this situation. And I feel like you're kind of being asked to activate your healing magic in this situation, 33:11 on the clock, because we have Badger medicine coming in here, and Badger is the medicine of the medicine woman. Okay, so this is about working with the feminine aspect to bring healing in a situation, which means softening a little bit, bringing your waters forward to bring cleansing, purification through healing, communication, through releasing all of the inflammatory emotions, giving yourself the space to really honor what you feel, and allowing yourself to be cleansed of the resentment, the anger, the frustration. Just get it all out until you get to the core of where the wound really is, because usually when there's anger, resentment, bitterness in a situation, there's a lot of hurt there. That's what it's masking. And as you start to cleanse away the layers of the inflammatory emotions, which you certainly can do working with milk thistle, please make sure that if you're going to take it internally, that it's in harmony with, your healthcare providers, right? I'm sharing some information here, but make sure you make sure it's right for you, okay? Especially if you're on any kind of medications or anything like that. But this is about having resilience in moving through a difficult process. It's understanding that on a soul level, there's something you need to heal with another here, okay? And in order to heal this, you're going to have resilience, because it's not the easiest thing to heal, because it first requires that you first are really healed within yourself. And it's a tall order in this situation, because it requires that you really hold space for some difficult stuff. I feel that. But you have the ability to do this. And this is really bringing in that cooling lunar essence to just calm everything and feel the empowerment of being in that space, right? Being in the empowerment of being in that space where you can hold the space for all of that and learn how to transmute it. I feel like your powers of transmutation, transformation are really coming through in terms of the waters at this time, the emotions, as well as the psychic vision too. So any kind of spiritual cleansing baths you can give yourself as well will be very beneficial. And you could even bring in some thistle medicine around that could be quite beneficial, I have to say. All right. So yes, this is really about doing the work to prepare yourself for a change that's coming, where you're going to have opportunity to find peace with another. And this is important for you to be able to move forward on your path. I'm picking that up pretty strongly. So let's read about this, and then we'll dive into your quest read, and we'll see what's coming in for Scorpio Sun natives this next trip around the sun. I'm really enjoying working with this deck. I think it just gives so much wonderful information. I look forward to being at the point where I've fully learned everything about all these plants, but I love learning about it with all of you. So I hope you enjoy this aspect, because I just think it's really cool when you can take a piece of what comes through in a reading and you can root it in your material reality by working with a little bit of the medicine that comes through, and feeling the empowerment of that, and how that's something that you can really take up yourself as a practice, integrate in your life, and it connects you with the energy of the medicine that comes through in the reads. I just think it's really neat. Okay, we got milk thistle, peaceful warrior, Silibum marianum. And it's coming in upright, but I'll let you know the shadow aspects too, okay? So upright, it's peaceful warrior, shield, truth keeper, shelter, sanctuary, safekeeping, and justice. And reversed, it's aggressiveness, harsh, impulsive, competitive, self-sabotage, overdoing it, and gossip, right? So those are like the shadow light polarities of its energy. So you know that you can really work with this medicine to help combat those shadow aspects and support you in alchemizing those kind of lower vibrational energies and coming into a place of greater empowerment and self-mastery. Astrological ruler, Mars and the Moon. Native to the Mediterranean, the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorides was the first to write down milk thistle's healing properties in the 1st century AD. Milk thistle was a remedy for diseases of melancholy, assisted in the production of breast milk, and acted as a powerful anti-inflammatory for the liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle's characteristic violet fuchsia flowers and white veined leaves are said to embody the Virgin Mary's milk. There are many magic rituals associated with this protective flower. Traditionally, flowers were thrown into the fire to deflect the lightning, and garments were woven with thistle fibers to protect the wearer from any spells. Ooh, interesting. Dolls, puppets, and magical tools were often stuffed with thistle to break negative, depressive spells, melancholy, and evil hexes. In Europe, witches would make large vats of thistle to call in the spirits A bowl of thistle tea in a room is said to revitalize energy, bring strength, and renew the spirits. Thistle was often planted in entryways to ward off thieves or parasitic energy. Milk thistle embodies the spirit of the fierce badger, as it's an aggressive healer known to rid the body of disease, poison, and toxic substances. Many Native American traditions associate badger medicine with powerful medicine women, as badgers are some of the great protectors of Earth's medicine. Badgers act quickly and efficiently in a crisis, and they do not panic. Embodying the primal warrior elements of Mars, badgers fearlessly find means and encourage to protect what's theirs regardless of the consequences. Milk thistle also falls under the moon's rulership as it's a galactagogue, meaning it assists in milk production along with assisting the entire gastrointestinal system. Guidance. Milk thistle dispels the damaging and destructive thoughts that can induce an endless loop of self-sabotage. Abandon insecurity, gossip, and fear-based protection strategies that enable frustration or a false sense of growth. Do not waste your time trying to control what cannot be controlled. Like a peaceful warrior, set your boundaries firmly and fearlessly. Like badger, milk thistle shakes up systems that hinder innovation and halts patterns and behaviors that stunt growth. Know that what you are changing, you are choosing. And that's potent because brought in that glamour magic that you hold, that ability, that glamour magic. And I think for you, Scorpio, snake birth totem, you get that a lot through reflection. It's like you are always polishing the mirror within, right? But you learn about what's going on within you through really the study of the energy swirling around you. It helps you see something about what's really going on inside. You are able to understand that what you're seeing in your material reality is a direct reflection of what's going on within you. And the more that you are noticing that, and where you feel it's not in harmony with how you're wanting to exercise your power in the world, you have the ability to really turn that focus internally. If you can be in a place where you have enough boundaries and safe space that you can truly, fully let down your guard and just be quiet and still and listen and tune in, then you are quite adept at really navigating those inner corridors and polishing that mirror so that what's reflected in your material reality is a more true reflection of your soul's essence and what you're wanting to create, as opposed to what can be an annoyance or distraction that can sort of draw your energy away from its true empowered channel of expression. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you can be in a place where you can be quiet and still and you can have your focus, what you manifest in your life is so in alignment and it comes through so powerfully. But when your energy becomes pulled in many different directions, it can really distort it fast. And so there's something here about needing that space where you can really tune in, get quiet, and let the true quality of your creative power and how it wants to come through right now can come through without sort of the interference, the distractions. I think there's too much distraction in some way that's coming in for you right now. And it's sort of leading to this state of perhaps feeling like you're having to clean up a lot, or things are more complicated than they need to be. That can really be remedied by creating some space for yourself. That'll turn that energy around. Let's see, what do I want to bring in here? What do I want to bring in here next? I want to bring in, I didn't pull one out. Oh, we're going to do this on the fly, are we? I need to pull out a tarot deck for you. See our request. I think we're going to work with this. That's interesting. I didn't pull out a tarot deck ahead of time. Had to do it on the fly. Ooh, you might have to do something on the fly. I'm noticing right on the bottom of the deck here. We got the Knight of Swords. Somebody's coming in quickly to communicate with you. Could be an air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All I know is you better be prepared because this is going to be coming at you pretty quickly. This might be what you're feeling, okay? This might be what this is talking about, what you're gearing up for here, the need to have some kind of communication to sort out a difficult situation. How are you going to be able to move through this? How are you going to be able to navigate it without, kind of going above and beyond, because you don't want to say things and have them fly out of your mouth and create permanent injury here. So there's something about use this opportunity while you can, to really get into your center here. All right, so somebody's coming at you, something's coming at you, some kind of communication. Show me, Spirit. Show me, Great Spirit. What is Snake Totem, Scorpio, Native Suns? What is their quest for this next trip around the sun, Spirit? What is coming in for Scorpio, Snake Birth Totem, in this next trip around the sun? What is the theme of their quest, Spirit? Bottom of the deck. Look. Just doing the work, just another day. You are definitely transmuting energy here. There's something you're healing. I think that you're actively involved in this with another person. You're working through this together. You're pouring into each other. There's something you're tempering here. This is Sagittarian energy. I'm also noticing here we got 1 foot on the earth, 1 in the water. So you could be dealing with an earth sign too. You could be dealing with an earth sign in relation to a matter that involves a Sagittarius. Or this could be something that is creating some kind of blockage to moving something forward, moving the connection forward in such a way where you can really have a sense of optimism about the future in this connection. But you're doing some deep alchemy work here. There's something you're healing. There's something you're transmuting. That's the basis of the matter. Let's see what we got here. Give me some more details about this quest that is before Scorpio in this next trip around the sun, Spirit. Give me some more details about this quest that is before Scorpio in their next trip around the sun. What we got here? Oh, yes, like I said, the 16th. Look at that, the tower. Here it comes, man. There's some power that's going to be put in your hands. There's something that comes in real strong here. I got the 16th so powerfully around that. Already had that memo come in, man. Okay, something here is going to blow your mind. You may be surprised how fast a situation turns around, how fast something comes at you, how fast you have to turn on the drop of a dime here. But it does put some kind of power in your hand. This is pretty wild. This may be a quest for power too. You may need to call your power back, okay, from a certain situation. We got your energy out here really strongly. We also have Aries energy, Aquarian energy. We have that earth sign energy here too. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, basis of the matter here. Okay. There's something you have to take a stand for. I'm picking that up pretty strongly, Scorpio. You're going to have to take a stand. You're going to have to really stand in your power in this situation. This is something that radically changes the way forward here. And in fact, it might really pop off You might get some kind of news, something comes in on the 16th. It blows your mind. By the time Pluto goes into Aquarius on November 19th, you're taking a very strong action as a result of this. Yeah, it's really kind of expanding on that message that came in. What do we got here? And it could very much be in relation to a Virgo here. We have the Hermit. So real strong Virgo energy on the board. There might be something too that you are walking away from here. We have your energy. Here's the transformation. I feel like it could also have something to do with you're not traveling forward alone. You may be heading forward in a different direction than you were anticipating. It might require, though, that initially, okay, because there's always a rebirth energy that comes after death. And this is you really embodying this energy. So I know that something is falling here. Some kind of news comes in, it blows your mind. I feel like you take a really strong action by November 19th. And you may have to use this power that you have in your hands to first sort of go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? You're going off the beaten trail here. You're heading off somewhere alone, but your creative light is ready to be expressed outwardly. So I do feel like you may be moving away from a situation where you've been sort of teamed up with another, partnered with another, working with another, and you know you need to do this in order to really go where you feel called now, okay? So it looks like you're going to get set out on your road to your destiny here. Something is really changing things quite significantly. There's something about your mind completely changing too, because you had that message where it was like you were like weighing things out, apples and oranges, you know what I mean? What should I create? I feel like something comes in here, it's just totally undeniable. It blows your mind wide open, and it's like, I never saw it before, but I see it now, and you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go. Real strong energy. I mean, heavy hitter energy opening right up with an Ace of Wands and with all this major arcana. I mean, you had Temperance, you got Death, you got the Tower, you got the Hermit. Like, this is a really important cycle for you. What's going down here is quite significant. What we got on this side of the split? Oh, yeah. And it's you. It's your energy. And remember, there's something here you need to transmute, okay? So if you've been feeling this coming and you've been feeling really pressurized, you need to get somewhere where you can ground your energy out. Because right now, you're trying to keep a container around those emotions, and eventually you will flip your lid. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to temper this a bit so you can prepare to have a more healing, a healing interaction here. What we got on the other side? Yes. It's about really mastering your energy here with the Empress, okay? Venusian energy coming in as well. You could be dealing with a Libra, since that energy came in earlier. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could have a strong Libra Taurus placement in your chart. You could be a mother. This could have something to do with realizing that there's some kind of strong action you need to take in relation to a child as well, okay? But this is definitely the spark of something that opens up your road in a big way. And there's a lot of growth here. There's you coming into your power, but there's something you have to transmute here. And with the Empress on the scene, we know you got to integrate the lessons of the 4 elemental queens, okay? So you got your energy out here really strong, but you're also going to need to embrace the energy of the Queen of Swords and the energy of the Queen of Wands and the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so it's a lot of work. And you move into that Empress energy through direct challenge. Okay, so I do feel like there's a bit of an initiation energy coming in here for you to spark a new beginning in your life. It really feels like what was before is being leveled, and something radically different is going to take root here, and there will be a lot of growth from it, I have to say. But it's a bit challenging. It's a bit challenging. You have to have your metal tested here. I mean, I see that that's coming through pretty strongly. Okay, let's see. What is Scorpio's nemesis on the way forward as they activate their purpose, their north node, and move toward that North Star in this next trip around the sun? What is Scorpio's nemesis? What is Snake Totem's nemesis? Continuing to stay and try to heal something with the wrong focus. It's almost like you're trying to heal another, but Spirit's saying, no, you're meant to heal yourself. And then everything that you want to see transformed in the world around you will be so, because you will be a clear conduit. It's like everything right now is about where you're at energetically, Scorpio. There's something that's kind of like mucking up your energy a little bit that needs to be cleared out. It's not allowing the clear, true, empowered, creative energy to come through at this time. And I think it's just because there's too much other people's stuff there. Yeah, look, I mean, this is worry, this is being up in the head, this is holding on to too much energy that's not yours. I think you've absorbed a lot. You are sensitive. There's a need for grounding here. This is coming through quite strongly. Or you might be weighing up, the thoughts and feelings of others too much in a situation, something like this, okay? You have a lot of questions about what lays ahead for you. I feel like, where you are having a lot of this sort of congestion going on in those neural loops, something's going to come through and blow your mind and clear up cobwebs. It's going to be a game changer, because I think it's going to move you into action, which is so necessary. You can't stay here up in your head. The air, like, it needs to be able to merge with the fire in order for there to be the process of transformation kicked off here. If you're too in your head, then you need to take some kind of action. That's how we bring the fire forward. It activates our will. It's the transformation point. And from there, your natural water comes in to nurture things into fruition, so you can get that garden to grow, the garden of the Empress here. And look at this. We got a partner here for you too. We got the King of Cups. So there's somebody you're merging with here. There's somebody and it's wish fulfillment for you, okay? Could be another water sign. It's possible. Okay, but this is also about you taking action too. Masculine is about executing the action, right? To move out of this place of lack. There's two of you in this place. Why? Because you're both up in your heads. You're trying to play the silent treatment here, or you're not communicating in the way that needs to be communicated to have the difficult conversation to clear all this out. That's what's holding you back. I feel like this is coming though. Might be coming in on the 16th. It's possible here, okay? All right, let's see. What is Scorpio's spirit ally in this next trip around the sun? Spirit, what is Scorpio's spirit ally in this next trip around the sun? Spirit, what is Scorpio's spirit ally in this next trip around the sun? It's interesting. It's interesting. It's kind of a spicy message, I have to tell you. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse here, okay? So I'm almost picking this up, that somebody that you view as like your opposition, or maybe you view this person as a competitor, There's somebody that just really like fires you up and makes you angry. They know how to push your buttons. Whoever this character is, it could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Whoever this character is, man, they are your spirit ally because they're reflecting everything within you that is actually the mirror image of them. I mean, whatever you're embroiled in here, this person that's on the opposite side from you, you're actually on the same side. It's just that they wear on the outside what you hide on the inside here. They've come through to be your mirror and vice versa. You're playing that same role for them. This could even be another lover on the scene, all right? It could be somebody you're viewing as being in the way of what you want for yourself. There can be a little kind of selfish energy that comes through as well when we got fire in reverse here. It doesn't really consider the other, it considers only what I want to win. It's very competitive kind of energy. But it's interesting that it's coming through as an ally for you. So there may be somebody in your situation who does need a little bit of a wake-up call. And it's almost reminding me, it's almost reminding me of that song. I quote it often because I just love Dylan, but it reminds me of Tangled Up in Blue, Bob Dylan, when he says, I helped her out of the jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. And, you know, maybe that's what this is. Maybe there's somebody that you're going to feel compelled to help out of a jam. You might have to use a little too much force. Maybe you feel it is justified in this situation. Maybe that also means helping yourself out of a jam. I see some, you know, self-interest energy here, definitely with the 9 of Cups. Okay, that's about personal gratification. You may be tired of deferring some kind of personal gratification, and so you feel like you might need to, you know, go a little above and beyond. You might need to go against the grain in a situation. It's possible. Okay, but I do feel like where you are facing off with something or someone here that you view as the opposition, it's actually your ally. It's the thing that lights a fire under you. It's the thing that motivates you. It's the thing that inspires you to pull deeper within yourself. So maybe there even is a situation where you're looking at another and maybe you don't want to say, oh, man, like, I kind of covet what they got there, or I wish, you know, I wish I could have that position, or whatever that may be. There's something about that that's actually good for you. It's fuel for your fire if it's put into action, and that's really the key for you. I mean, I'm getting that, okay? Because if you don't put it into action, then it just puts you up in your head. And that's problematic, especially for you, because you're already sensitive as it is energetically. So if you get too much in your head, nothing gets done here, okay? So that's an interesting spirit ally to come out there. But I feel that's really true. Where you have challengers on your path, bless them up, man. Be grateful for them, because challengers definitely do require you to sort of expect more of yourself, you know? At least if you're somebody who you know, wants to rise to the challenge, and I think you are. I think you are. Your energy is coming through pretty freaking strong here, Scorpio. So it's transformation time, okay? Maybe transformation time to get beyond some BS and get to some deep, soulful love, okay? There does look like there's a major connection here that's being transformed, okay? It could be dealing with some interference from a third-party element in this situation. The third-party element could be selfishness. It could. And maybe that's what needs to be transformed. Let's get some more details. Maybe you won't realize that, though, until you're a little selfish and you spend some time to yourself and put yourself first for a change. And then you'll realize, like, oh, okay, I get it. I've been going a little bit overboard because I've been feeling parched, man. Nobody's been filling my cup. Yeah. I think that has something to do with it, that little blockage around that. Okay, let's see. What is the lay of the land for Scorpio as they move forward over this next trip around the sun? What is the lay of the land for snake birth totem as they move through this next year of their life spirit? Ugh, this is it, man. There's some connection here, and there's a need to get a different perspective on it. Because I feel like right now you're both kind of like in this hangman position. And again, you could be dealing with Pisces. It's possible. But something here isn't being seen clearly. Like there's a distortion in the reflection, and you're only going to see it clearly when you polish the mirror of yourself. Also, with the Pisces energy that's come out a few times now, you could also be dealing with a matter where it's a 12th house matter. So if this is a matter of a karmic cycle that needs to be cleared out, this is part of your life's work. And in some way, you're meant to move through this. There's some kind of big empowerment that comes through this that you'll look back on as your wish fulfillment. You'll look back on it as, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that. I mean, it moves you into the Empress energy. Okay, so this is important. It's part of your work this go around, I have to say. There's some kind of transformation that needs to happen in a key relationship, in a key connection. And I do feel like what you want wants you. There is this energy, but something's really out of balance here, and it needs to be brought into balance. And this looks like this is kind of the basis of the lay of the land. So this is the basis of the path forward as you move through this next year. And here comes the communication again. Okay, so we know there's important communication coming in with this person, and so much rides on how you handle this communication. Cut of the deck energy. What do we got here? All right. You know you want to see a new way forward. You want to open the road. You very well could be dealing with a Pisces or a Pisces house matter. Okay, 12th house matter, karmic loop. Hidden enemy, something that you have suspicions about. You're not so sure if you should let this in. Okay, so there could be a clue here too. All right, there may be a little tricky of an energy coming your way. You're gonna have to really take some time to yourself, feel out. Do I want to create in this direction? I see you got the whole world in your hands here, right? So it's up to you. It's up to you what's behind this Page of Cups energy. There is ending. There's 10 of Swords here. So I can see this as you might need to have some kind of communion. And it looks like doing that is a wise choice here with the 6 of Wands coming behind the 10 of Swords. I can see this, then it opens the road. Then you've had the completion of the world. You can see a new way forward here. Let's go ahead and look at what's here on the split of that. Ooh, and then we got Emperor. All right. That's Emperor to Empress. Okay. So there might be something you need to release here in order to come into alignment with the person you're meant to come into alignment with. Big Taurus energy. We had Taurus energy come out pretty strong. We also have Aries energy coming out there. Okay. Yeah. See, until there's some kind of balance exacted here, like there needs to be something karmically balanced out. There's this feeling of being stuck. But see, the only thing you need to do to open your road is you just need to take the action to have the communication and to, balance things out as you need to in order for this thing to move forward. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's check it out. Why are you so resistant to this? What's the beef? What's the meat of the matter for Scorpio as they take this next trip around the sun? This is also about you activating your destiny. So we see whatever is happening here, you're rising up, into your power. And it looks like somebody's there to greet you. There is a partner energy here. There's definitely a soulmate energy, somebody you're coming into alignment with. You need to understand whoever this person is, they're your equal. There can be no there can be no true selfishness in this connection because you have to know how to share power here. And maybe that's been the problem. Somebody's wanted to hold all the power in this connection. It don't work like that. It's empress to emperor. You have to be able to, you know, meet eye to eye here. All right. Nobody looking down their nose at the other. Ooh. And something just came out there as we look at what this beef is. Yeah. This is the beef. No, I'm not gonna take the action. I know what needs to be done. I'm well aware of it. I know I'm capable of doing it, but I'm not gonna take it. No, 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 no. I'm not willing to, you know, give up my point of view. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to see it through. I don't care how long it keeps us both sitting here with a whole lot of nothing. This is the beef of the matter. You're both doing this like kind of, you know, staying in your corners, unwilling to concede at all, viewing it too much as a loss. This is too much ego involved in this situation, not cutting through the BS, you know? And the end result is both people miss out. Okay. So both people are injured in this situation. And there might need to be more understanding about that. You got some key relationship. It looks like you're healing here. It's not easy. There's a lot for both of you to learn with each other, though, I have to say, with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here. This is the learning process. You both have things to learn. You both have things to learn. You're in the process of becoming the emperor to the empress. You both have a lot to learn together, though. And it could involve a child, too. There could be a child in play in this situation that's factoring strongly. But I do got real strong earth energy coming through here as well, okay? Somebody in this situation could have a very strong earth placement. So far, we've had Virgo and Taurus come out strongly, right? Very interesting. Okay. I mean, that's the problem. Who's going to go first? whoever goes first loses and the other one wins. Is that what it is? It's like you're trying to beat each other. Who will cave first? It's sort of what it looks like, I have to tell you. Oh, yeah. Look, isn't it becoming a little heavy? The 10 of Wands. This is a burden. Come on, man. Get to transforming this situation already with the Magician to the 6 of Cups. This is a soul connection. Wasting time with this nonsense, you know? Carrying the heavy burden because, oh, you know, no, I don't want to concede first. And all I have to do is just take the action here. Drop these 9 other wands here and just take the action. That's been a theme that's been coming out, you know? It's like this, the hermit. The hermit just has one of those, you know, wands carrying forward in the form of a staff. You know? Yeah, maybe that is a bit of going against the grain. Maybe you're not used to being the one who approaches. Maybe you're not used to being the one who kind of opens things up. Maybe you're not used to being the one who kind of like goes there in this situation, or, you know, it could be the other is that way. I feel like there's some surprise element coming in with that. Okay. The situation will be transformed. There's a rebirth energy here. There is renewal energy here. If you've been going alone, you're not going to be going alone for long. There's somebody else you're coming into alignment with here. And it's a huge transformation in your life. But this has everything to do with healing a connection. Healing a connection. Right? Yeah. Definite soulmate energy. You've been familiar with this person. I would say 99.9% of you already know who this person is. And if you don't, when you meet this person, you're going to be like, I know you. I know you. It's one of those, okay? Yeah. You don't feel very safe with this person. It's like you feel defenseless with this person. It's that kind of a connection. The intensity of it can kind of throw you both off at times, okay? All right. What are the past actions that are sort of fueling the consequences that Scorpio is going to have to deal with here? What are the consequences Scorpio is going to have to deal with in this next trip around the sun as a result of their past actions? What are the consequences Scorpio is going to have to deal with in their next trip around the sun as a result of their past actions, Spirit? High Priestess. Okay, well, whether in, this life or past life, I would say, with the Magician and the High Priestess here, this could be, well, you both have been manifesting each other, you both have been calling each other in. Some of you are, alchemists. You are on the path. And I don't mean it in a metaphorical way. I mean, you actually, you work with magic, You've been calling each other in. You've been calling each other in. With the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to show up on the scene. That's what I'm seeing here. Might actually give you the spooks a bit. I have to say, it might have your hackles on. You might be like, why did I call this in? Why did I call this in? This isn't what I was thinking it was going to be. Let me get a little more detail about that. Tell me about these consequences that Scorpio may be dealing with. This is in relation to potentially a King of Wands energy. Had Aries come out pretty strongly. It's the crossing energy here. Okay. Also had Sagittarius come out. Yeah. And there we have it. Workings around this character. Okay. Somebody's been, doing some manifestation work in this situation. Yep. And this is why there's a balance due here. Okay. So there's some kind of karmic matter that needs to be settled here. And I have to say, it really does bring in this lesson. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Right? Because we had that piece about somebody may have been selfish here. So there could have been somebody who was being a bit selfish here. They were calling something in. They wanted to manifest something, but it's almost like not understanding the ramifications of that. And now there is something that needs to be balanced out here. And there is healing that's supposed to be happening in this situation. The healing may be forgiveness that needs to happen in this situation, but I do feel like this is creating a little bit of blockage on the path moving forward. So there's something that's being transformed here. All right. Yeah, I do see him moving forward. There's the Knight of Cups. Somebody's going to bring forward that cup. It's an invitation to open something up, to open up some communication, to try to bring about some healing, at least some forgiveness in a situation, okay? I'm feeling that pretty strongly in this situation. What is the power for Scorpio to gain in this matter through self-mastery? What is the power for Scorpio to gain in this situation through self-mastery? What is the power for Scorpio to gain in this situation through self-mastery? And I will say, was the Cups energy coming forward? So, I mean, that's your energy, Scorpio. Temperance. The power to be gained is to actually work with your medicine, to master your medicine as the alchemist. There's energy that needs to be transmuted here if you want to move into expansion. That's why you feel like something's not moving forward, or you move in a new direction and it only takes you so far, and then you hit the ceiling of that situation, or you come up against some other roadblock. It's because there's something that needs to be healed. There's something that needs to be transformed here. It has something to do with another. And it could be a Sagittarius, okay? All right, that's what I got. That's what I got. It's sticking to it pretty strongly too. Let's get any more details about that. Okay, that came out real quick. Yeah, there's work to be done. There's work to be done here in this situation. It's time to get to work. Like, it's the time to think about it, or, There's something about it, it's time to actually get to work. And for those that do resonate with, actually did some workings to call somebody in or something, you got to get to work cleaning that up. Feels like something's holding you back a little bit, all right? But with the Emperor to the Empress, I mean, what I see here is whatever's cleansed away, whatever's purified, it's done efficiently. If the work is done, it's done efficiently. And wherever there's healing or forgiveness needed in a situation, it's totally achievable. The transformation can happen. There can be a renewal of energy here, but it is going to require you first to do the work on yourself, you see, because it all starts with you here. It's always like that for everybody, but especially for you in this matter, it's super important. And in fact, I do feel it's almost like the feminine energy is maybe the one that needs to open up a little bit here. The feminine energy has been really cloaked, has maybe been keeping some things secret or to themselves. Maybe not expressing some things that they should have expressed before, right? I think some secrets need to be spilled. The nature of the conversation may be a bit unnerving, you know what I mean? But it's like once this is sort of released, that's a potent force for transformation. But I feel like first you have to find what you've been keeping secret from yourself. That's what it's kind of got the vibe of here, because it all starts with you, right? I mean, if you gain the power, though, it looks like the transformation happens, the alchemy is possible, and there's a workable way forward. Something works out, maybe in an unexpected way. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got on that for you, Scorpio. Yeah, we see there's been transformation. There's this desire. I said transformation before I saw the fire, but yeah, there's transformation in a situation where there was separation and there was some kind of heartache here. Got the Knight of Wands, okay? So we got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. We got air and fire coming together, air feeding the fire. This is something that once you move forward with it, there's a lot of energy behind it, okay? But there's something about you don't want this. You don't want this. You feel it's a tie that binds. You feel it's unhealthy, but you don't recognize the way it can actually be a very empowering experience. But it first involves you healing yourself. That's what it really looks like. It's like you're being asked to dive really deep in yourself and maybe even do something out of character for yourself, like you being the one to approach or open the conversation or to express something you hadn't expressed before or take an action you maybe would have never taken before in this situation because of your perspective in this situation or the feelings that you had in this situation. And yet this is the transformational factor here. It's really interesting energy. Okay, what's at stake for Scorpio and their party moving forward here? What's at stake for Scorpio and their party? People are meant to join them on their path moving forward. It looks like there's somebody very specific who's supposed to be moving forward with you here. Strong fire sign indications. What's at stake? Also a strong knowledge. Probably the two strongest that came through. Yeah, look, there's something here that, needs to be moved away from. And otherwise, if there's no moving away from the pain and the suffering, if nobody's willing to actually, do the work, then that's what's at stake. You may move forward, but you move forward, you take the swords with you, you see, because there's something that was never verbalized or something that was never properly communicated here. It needs to be moved into action. You're meant to use Fragarok, the sword of truth. And you're also supposed to pull it from its sheath to activate that power and then point it at another. It's the answer. So you can let them tell you what their answers are instead of you being up in your head trying to figure out what their position is here. God, justice, okay? Big Libra energy. This is a South Node matter, okay? And this is what is needed for balance. So what's at stake here? Balance is at stake. Justice is at stake. Freeing both of you from a repetitive karmic cycle here. This is what's at stake. That's a lot that's at stake. You don't want to continue to move forward in that state of imbalance, you know? It went from the devil, the two figures chain, to, you know, justice, balance, you know? But the communication needs to be issued to cut through the BS and get to the other side. And it's what all of you need to move forward. And time's just ticking away. And both people here are losing out. Time is a thief. That's what I got. Time is a thief. The time for action is going to be coming soon in this situation, Scorpio, I have to say. All right, let's see what else we got here. What's at stake for the new world Scorpio wants to bring into being in this next trip around the sun? What's at stake for Scorpio in the new world they want to bring into being during this next trip around the sun, Spirit? What's at stake for Snake in this next trip around the sun and the new world they want to see come into being, Spirit? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Temperance, balancing it out, healing this, alchemizing this ish so you can move on from it and experience a higher rung of the spiral. Yes. This is, you know, a little something for the homies. You know, it's like, you know, somebody here needs to pour into another. It's like well overdue. It's being withheld. That's what it feels like. We got Sagittarius energy here again, right? There's a lot of angelic energy around this as well. All right. A lot of angelic energy around this. I just heard Sandalphon. Sandalphon is the archangel that deals a lot with like bringing our manifestations into being, our wishes into being, and how to do that in a way that can be a great blessing, a great boon, all right? But not just for one, for all, okay? There's some kind of healing here where it's not just about what you get out of it, but also about bringing the other, you know, into alignment with you, like where you both are nourished by the experience, or you both experience the balance, you both experience the healing. Let's see what the cookie is, okay? What's the cookie? What's the sweet reward for Scorpio if they do this work, Spirit? What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward for Scorpio? If they take this action, Spirit, what is the cookie? There's a sweet reward for Scorpio if they do this work, Spirit. It's like just waiting for you to take the cups, Scorpio. You got to stop focusing on the others in this situation. You got to start focusing solely on you here. It looks like it's being very firm about this with you. What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward for Scorpio? If they take your offer, Spirit, and if they pour into themselves, they do this work, they heal themselves, they balance themselves out. Look at that. The Lovers, Gemini energy, okay? Moving out of the crossroads, finally making a choice. And with the cards that came in here, coming into union with your soulmate, it's really strong. Look at this. Within the next couple of months, 8 weeks tops, it always goes down that way whenever this card comes out for me. This is a big timing card for me. Within 8 weeks, this communication starts. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. It picks up momentum. There may be movement that comes along with this. There can be movement of homes. There can be going on a trip to connect. There's a lot of things set in motion once this connection comes together. All right. But it's a process. It's something that unfolds for you. All right. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got there for you. Yeah. And in fact, somebody's already, you know, behind the scenes, keeping an eye on things here. And again, we do have once more that energy coming in of Pisces, also Cancerian energy. You're hanging out here too. It may be you. It may be you. You might be about to go through this initiation, you know, to move against the grain. You've been readying yourself, steadying yourself, tuning in, you know, picking up the energy, trying to decide, you know, when is the right moment to act. I feel like, you know, right now you're kind of moving, you know, sort of behind the scenes, and you've been getting in touch with your emotions, but I think you're going to take an action pretty soon here. You are going to take an action. Some may feel like they won't even know what hit them here. You know what I mean? Like they're not expecting this from you. You're moving against the grain, but you're bringing something to completion successfully here so you can move in a new direction. And whatever direction this is, it's a brand new beginning for you. It brings you success. It brings you happiness. Okay? So you could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Leo, an Aquarius, or another Scorpio like yourself. I think this is personally significant to you. This is a really important year for you. Major transformation, something major is going to shift in your life in relation to a soulmate, and you're absolutely meant to come together with this person. You're absolutely meant to heal with this person. This is something, this is like, you don't get a reading like this very often, but this has got like destiny vibes here. It really, really does. This has destiny vibes here, okay? That's what I see. That's what I see. Pretty powerfully, man. I feel like getting with just one more message there for you. One more message. What target should Scorpio aim for? What should they really be focusing on in order to activate their destiny and come together with this individual for this important soul work? It looks like here. Definitely big road opener energy here, but a very important karmic cycle you're closing here, Scorpio. Snake is shedding its skin for sure, okay? Look at this. It brings some kind of big celebration, so I think you're going to be successful here. I really do. And I got just cut the deck for this, okay? Just cap it off here for you. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some arguments. There's a lot of intense emotions. It's quite spirited along the way. This could be as a result of a certain element or person involved in the situation that's making it complicated to open this road and moving this forward. But I do feel like there is something that you will leave behind here. That came through quite a few times. It's up to you to decipher what it is you need to leave behind or who you need to leave behind in order to open up the port so all of those blessings can come in for you. But I do indeed see that they will be coming in for you, Scorpio, okay? And there's some kind of celebration at hand as a result. Now, I'm going to bring these out for you. First time I'm using these. I got these the other day from this cool little antique shop called Pat's Garage. And I love antique shops. There's just something about them. I can get lost in an antique shop forever. And these are dice that have letters on them. And I wanted to start bringing them in. I went ahead and got 2 containers of them so we can have plenty of messages come through. And I'm just going to see what else Spirit wants to say. Maybe they'll give a name. Maybe it'll give a place. person, place, thing. I don't know, just some details. I'm just gonna get some letters out here and we'll see what wants to come through. I'm gonna get out a few, okay? Because I got two, so let me get these out here and have a look at them. First thing I saw right away is I saw I am. So just know right now your manifestation potency is at an all-time high. You really can speak things into existence. I also feel like you are in a place where you're sort of defining who you are, you're figuring out who you are, you know. You may be having a complete identity shift. You may be seeing yourself in a new way. You may be meeting somebody. You may be meeting somebody significant, okay? So in that case, like I brought in, you may be going through a deep healing process with somebody brand new, but you meet this person and you feel that instant soul recognition here. But you're going to do a lot of deep, powerful, transformational healing work in your connection with each other. You may receive an important introduction here. I got Mia with that, okay? So the name Mia could be coming in there, all right? Mia, all right? Let's see here. There is something really important that you need to see in a situation here, right? There is something you need to see, all right? And really acknowledge in a situation. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so for that message that came in regard to the high priestess and the magician, I mean, some of you may have been dealing with some people that were throwing some spiritual work around, or you've been part of something like this, so you've been picking up this energy. I got cult, okay? There could be a connection there. Get all these words together, see what else we got. We definitely have love coming in here for you. I got Love, love. Do we got an M? Ah, interesting. We have tie. We have tie. There's also time here, okay? It's going to take time for you to break a tie. You may be trying to decide between two people or another. One path will have to die away before you can unite with another. I'm also seeing hand fasting, okay? So some of you might want to come together in a unique way. Some of you may be preparing to dye your hair, or you recently dyed your hair. You have a very different look to you now. I got the name Sid, okay? There is somebody you're going to say bye to. You are walking away from somebody. Got bye, B-Y-E, bye. Somebody's also a big flirt in this situation. That could be something that's a bone of contention. Somebody has a roving eye. It's caused problems in the connection. That might be who you're saying bye to. See if I can get any other names in here. I got the name Sue. I got the name Mel or Melanie. Somebody is really cute. Somebody thinks you're really cute. They think you're cute when you cry. Oh no, not that kind of not that kind of person. Maybe you think you ugly cry and they think it's actually cute when you cry. Maybe they dried your tears for you. Maybe it was a cute moment, or maybe they made you laugh when you were crying. It was a special moment the two of you shared. Got the name Ted. The connection there, Ted. I think that's what I got. All right. I hope that you enjoyed that deep dive. And yeah, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear when this fated meeting occurs. And I wish you many blessings in your next trip around the sun. Take care.